Imagine a world where cities float, where travel is silent and majestic, and where the skies are ruled not by jet engines, but by graceful giants. This was the dream of the airship. And for a brief, shining moment, it seemed like that dream would change everything. But behind the elegance was a ticking clock. Political agendas, deadly assumptions, and one unforgettable disaster brought the age of the airship crashing down. Quite literally, this is the story of the airship that could have reshaped the world and the tragic series of decisions that sealed its fate. In the early 20th century, humanity was obsessed with conquering the skies. While the Wright brothers were perfecting their flying machines, another dream took shape: lighter-than-air flight. Airships, enormous, silent, and elegant, were not just science fiction. They were reality. Germany led the charge, with Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin pioneering massive, rigid dirigibles. These were luxury liners in the sky, dining rooms, lounges, observation decks with panoramic views of the clouds. Airships could cross oceans and continents in peaceful splendor. They weren't just beautiful, they were efficient. Powered by propellers and buoyed by hydrogen or helium, they burned far less fuel than airplanes. In a world hungry for global transport, they represented a future of sustainable elegance, but that promise came with a catch, a highly flammable one. Enter the Hindenburg, the largest aircraft ever built. Over 800 feet long, capable of carrying over 90 passengers and crew in lavish comfort. Built by the Zeppelin Company in Nazi Germany, it was a masterpiece of engineering and propaganda. Hindenburg was supposed to be helium-filled, a much safer alternative to hydrogen. But due to U.S. export restrictions on helium, motivated by political tensions with Germany, the ship was filled with hydrogen instead. It was a compromise, a dangerous gamble, but the flights continued. The Hindenburg made 10 successful transatlantic crossings. It dazzled the world with its quiet majesty. For many, it felt like the future had finally arrived, and then came May 6, 1937. Lakehurst, New Jersey. The Hindenburg approaches its mooring mast. The air is damp. Storms have delayed its arrival. Hundreds of spectators and news crews await. Suddenly a spark, a flash, and within 37 seconds, the largest aircraft ever built is consumed in a hellish inferno. The explosion was broadcast live. The phrase, "Oh, the humanity," burned into the American psyche. 35 people lost their lives. Dozens more were injured. Theories abound. A static charge, a ruptured hydrogen cell, sabotage. But what matters most is what came after. Public trust shattered. The image of the airship blackened, literally and metaphorically. In less than a minute, the dream was gone. The disaster alone didn't kill the airship. What did was a cocktail of nationalism, war, and economic fear. By the late 1930s, the world was bracing for conflict. Airplanes, faster, smaller, and easier to weaponize, began dominating military budgets. The Zeppelin Company became absorbed into the Nazi propaganda machine. Funding for innovation vanished, replaced by bombs and battles. Meanwhile, commercial aviation evolved rapidly. Jet engines would soon rewrite what was possible in the skies. The airship, once a symbol of unity and exploration, became a relic. Not because it was worse, but because history turned against it. Imagine a different world, one where the skies are dotted with silent leviathans, where international travel is calm, green, and slow enough to see the oceans pass beneath you, where airborne cities host researchers, artists, and dreamers among the clouds. That world never came because we chose speed over serenity, weaponry over wonder, profit over poetry, but the dream hasn't entirely died. In the 21st century, Companies are once again exploring airships for cargo, surveillance, even tourism. Technologies like solar power and carbon-neutral propulsion could revive what was lost. Perhaps one day, we'll look up and see the future rising slowly into the sky again.